Hey guys, so I just got back from seeing Tomorrowland at the theater. Not actually went to any place called Tomorrowland. I want to clarify. Um, I would have done it earlier this weekend, but I had no desire. I like the Cavs games. The Cavs game was on Friday and Sunday, and it held. There was even I could have gone to a pre-screen, but my theater decided for some reason not to do a pre-screening of Tomorrowland. It did one of Poltergeist, of fucking course, but not fucking Tomorrowland. That was weird. Very fucking weird. Like they usually just do a pre-screening for everything nowadays, and that's really weird that they didn't do one for this one. Uh, so yeah, I would have done it, and I just kept putting it off. I'm like, I'm not in a real rush to see this thing. Uh, so I like today's Memorial Day, and I figure, fuck it, I have nothing better to do. I actually had Monday off because it was Memorial Day. Says, all right, I'll go to the movies. Let's check this damn thing out. So going into this, it's one of those things is that I remember actually if I think I saw this in front of I think it was Big Hero 6 or something, the first trailer I got for this, and I pretty much just said, is this just based off a fucking young adult novel that because it looks like shit. Didn't look that interesting. And George Clooney looks really old in this, so that's like the only thing I came away with the first trailer. But then while I was looking more into it, I noticed that it was based off a theme park ride from Disney, which is weird. And only that's been a hit and a miss. I mean, Pirates of the Caribbean was a success, but Haunted Mansion sucked. So I don't know. So that's been a hit and a miss whenever they do that kind of thing, base a movie off their theme park ride. And also it's being directed by Brad Bird. I'm like, all right. I said that was the only reason I was kind of interested in this movie, because I like Brad Bird. If you don't know who he is, he's the guy who made The Incredibles, The Iron Giant, which I've never seen, but I always heard really good things about. Ratatouille, which is good, and Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol, which is really fucking good. I haven't seen that yet. It's very weird. Like his filmography is very weird, but he was like more of a guy who was known for making animated films, and then just kind of ventured off and started doing live action when with Ghost Protocol, which was a really good movie. If you haven't seen that fucking thing, anyway, so yeah, that was the only reason I was kind of going and seeing this movie, just to see another Brad Bird movie. He's done pretty well up to this point. I figured, you know, he's got a talent. He's pretty talented as a filmmaker, so I have faith in him. The reviews have been mixed, so I mean, I was like, well, whatever. And you know what? I kind of dug this movie. It was all right. It was a weird movie, but also it was pretty inventive and pretty original, which is is a big positive in my books. It had a lot of original ideas, and it presented some very interesting ideas. And it had a pretty goddamn good social commentary to the point I fucking love this movie. I like this movie. I wouldn't say I loved it. Let me rephrase that. Yeah, I wouldn't say I loved this movie, but it was pretty good. It was fascinating. It kept my interest for 2 hours. It was like 2 hours and 10 minutes. Kept my interest. Never was bored. That's always a positive nowadays. That's pretty sad. The acting in this movie is fine. It wasn't really one bad performance. Oh wait, I'll have to take that back. There was one bad performance, but I'll get into that in a second. Clooney and the girl work well off one another. Main girl, I don't know who her name is. I'll have to look that up now. It's a girl I've never seen before, but she was not a bad actress. She could have been like the annoying teenager that you can't fucking stand in movies, but she wasn't. She was likable, and everything else, and her chemistry with Clooney was pretty fun. I love this. I love the slapstick scenes between the two of them, and the stuff at the beginning when they're trying to record a video was pretty funny. Like their interactions, arguing with each other was pretty funny. And, like, I heard somebody say it looks like Clooney's sleepwalking. It doesn't really. He seems like he's, you know, not bored or anything. He looks. I like Clooney. Clooney can fucking act his way out of anything. Of course, except Batman and Robin. But anyways, like I said, this movie does present. The thing that really liked about this movie was that this movie had some really original ideas and also was pretty. Had some pretty interesting like social commentary about, you know, it presents the idea basically that if we knew what our future was going to be like, we would do nothing to change it. Even if we knew the world was going to end very soon, we would still just fucking accept it and just go with it. In today's society, which is so fucking sad. It is true, but it is sad. Kind of blame that a little bit on religion. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for that, but religion basically they just say, oh, I accept the end of the world, I'm going to heaven and I'm going to meet Jesus Christ. Why not fucking stop something from, you know, stop the end of the world? And I like that kind of idea. Also like the fact that, like, it kind of touches up on the fact that we're not, you know, we don't have any ideas, like, we're not very inventive anymore. We don't give a shit about that anymore, which is sad. It's a pretty interesting. It's an interesting movie and an interesting idea. I like the commentary that it has on society nowadays and what it has to say. I thought it was really well done. Really well done. This movie also is fucking violent. Oh my god! Like, people get their little kid gets run over by a fucking truck. People just get hit with ray guns and fucking explode. Not joking there. Of course, there's no blood. There's robots that get decapitated. What else happens in this fucking movie? It's pretty fucking violent. People get crushed by giant globes. That's kind of going to spoiler territory, but I won't say who. It is pretty goddamn violent for a Disney movie. I've been watching Daredevil, the TV show, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is like the kid version of Daredevil. It's really violent. Like, but of course there's no blood or guts, but that fucking Jesus, if this was rated R, it'd be a one violent as hell movie. Where I should get into negatives about it. The negatives is that this movie is very fucking weird. There's some very weird shit in this movie. Like the fact that the Eiffel Tower is basically a launch pad for a rocket. I am not making that shit up. Yeah. They go to the Eiffel Tower. They somehow teleport to the Eiffel Tower at one point. And then they get to the Eiffel Tower and there's a rocket hidden under the ground of the Eiffel Tower. And the Eiffel Tower splits apart into a fucking launch pad and shoots the rocket up into space. I am not joking. That's like what it is. Like, that was weird. Like, and I'm sitting there like, oh, they're going up into space. I was like, what, is Tomorrowland on the moon? No, it gets even weirder when they just like Clooney even fucking acknowledges this is gonna get weird. Like, they go up into space and then shoot back down to Earth and somehow go into another dimension where there's Tomorrowland. I have fucking no clue. Very fucking weird shit going on in this movie. That's just naming one. This movie, I laughed when I was reading a review that said this movie is going to get picked. Honest Trailers is going to have a field day with this movie. Yeah, I can see that. There was a couple questions I kept just finding myself asking. Like, one, why when Clooney, when he was a little boy and he touched a pen, did he not get teleported to the place? But when the girl touches the pen, she gets teleported instantly. Also, let's talk about this pen for a second. when this thing kind of drove me nuts. like as soon as this pin get injured, like the whole physics of this thing is that when you touch this pen, you get teleported to Tomorrowland. And while you're in Tomorrowland, your human body is still, your physical form's still on Earth. So you're just basically walking around and stuff like that. I'm just sitting there thinking, like, when this got introduced, like that, like she runs into walls and stuff like that. I'm like, oh my god, we're gonna see people like. That's very fucking dangerous. I'm sitting there like, that's very fucking dangerous. Like, somebody's gonna end up getting hit by a car. Like, somebody's gonna end up dying a really brutal death. Like, somehow. Because they're just walking around with this pen and then it's walking right off a cliff, or they can rock off right off a cliff. They can run right in front of a truck. They can do a lot of stuff. It's like, that thing is really dangerous. Like, luckily it does address that. Like I said, she runs into walls, runs into people, falls down the stairs when she's trying to walk around with this thing while she's touching this pin. Also, just to get into spoiler territory, but how does, at the end of the movie, basically they had a portal from Earth to Tomorrowland. By the end of the movie, the portal is destroyed, and basically it's said that this pin is basically an invitation to show you what Tomorrowland is like. So, at the end of the movie, they give like this pin to all these people to come to Tomorrowland and shit like that. And I sat there going, okay, so if that's an invitation and the portal is destroyed, how the fuck do they get there? Do they have more rockets under the Eiffel Tower? What the fuck? Like, it's like, I don't know. Like, I'm just sitting there like, what? That was not explained. It's just, fuck it, just accept it. What else? I'm thinking there's something else that drove me nuts. I'm sure it'll come back to me after I do this review, but fuck it. Also, some of the CGI effects were pretty bad. Yeah, they were. Like, when they were flying, the scene where the kid's flying on the rocket pack was pretty fucking cartoony looking. And also, when he goes on It's a Small World ride, literally this movie is like a advertisement for Star Wars, Disney, Incredibles, Toy Story, pretty much anything Disney related. Hell, even I think Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which is not Disney, whatever. But they there was a part where he gets like, he goes down like a little slide thing, and the water comes up, and the water is the most cartoony looking water you've ever fucking seen. It doesn't even fucking hit him, and you're like, oh god, that looked bad. Like, that looked just amateur. Some of the there's just effects that kind of didn't look very good. And also, like I said, there was one bad performance. Those fucking robots, which I still understand what the point of them were. I know they were the guards, but there was no point. They just needed to add an action adventure into this fucking movie for no reason. That felt like it just was tacked on. Especially Hugh Laurie. Like, Hugh Laurie's like the villain in this movie. Like, and it's not established until like the last 20 minutes that he's the villain. Like, it just comes out of nowhere. Like, he just pops up. He's only in the beginning of the movie and then at the end of the movie. And they're like, okay, why is he doing this? Why is he a villain? I guess just so we can have a villain. I don't know. But yeah, the fucking robots. The guy that is the guy that's hunting them. The robot, the head robot that's hunting them, is way over the top. Really, really, really over the top, and just going into cartoony levels of acting. Really cartoony levels. It is pretty bad. It is. I want to say that was intentional. I do want to say that because there's no fucking way Brad Bird was like, all right, you just, he's like, oh, that was good, unless that was what he wanted. I don't know. But yeah, this movie was fun. It wasn't boring. I guess even with the stuff that kind of nitpicked about, still it didn't take my enjoyment away from this movie. It was all right. I wouldn't say pay the full theater price to see it. Check it out when it's on Redbox or something like that, or at cheap theater. It's not bad. Kids will probably like it. I also got, when I got to the theater, they gave me a pen, one of those little pins. So after the end of the movie, it's like, let's see if I touch this pin and I get teleported to Tomorrowland. Touched it, nothing happened. I'm like, fuck this shit. Threw it away. I don't even know where it's at. Somewhere in my car. I don't know. It'll pop up somewhere. And I'm sitting there laughing like, how about, I bet you $1 million, like, kids got that thing, all excited, like, oh, I'm gonna get teleported to Tomorrowland. They touch it, nothing happens. They're like, fuck this shit, and throw it away. I guarantee you most kids did that. Yeah. So, yeah. Check it out. It's alright. Like I said, I wouldn't go out, pay full movie theater price. I'd rather tell you to go see Mad Max, Ex Machina, Avengers, any of that shit. That's better than this. Worth seeing more than this. Trailers, I got Paper Towns. Is it? Paper Towns, which is basically the new film from the guy that made The Fault in Our Stars, that wrote The Fault in Our Stars. It's basically this kid is like pining over this girl for like almost stalker in like a stalker way throughout his high school years. And one night she comes into his room and says that she wants to take revenge on her ex-boyfriend, that she had a boyfriend for a long time, and now their exes. Now it's her ex, and they have a night together. They have fun, all stuff like that. And the next day, she disappears, and that's it. Like, that's all you know. Like, she disappears. It's like, and she ends up dead somewhere. This movie would be awesome if like she ends up dead somewhere. Like, she just like he's like, the whole movie's him trying to find her. And I will laugh if at the end of the movie, I know it sounds sick, but if she just ends up in a garbage can, or I don't know. So it ends up dead somewhere. That sounds sad. That's sick. I don't know. I don't know. It's the, I'll give it a chance. That's one of those, it didn't, the acting didn't look as good as The Fault in Our Stars, I'll tell you that. That new trailer for Pixels. This is one of those movies that I really would have like kind of been behind or gotten behind to watch it, stuff like that, if it didn't star Adam Sandler. I avoid everything with Adam Sandler, like The Black Plague. I will not support any of his fucking comedies. He's fucking terrible. Although this one looks actually a lot more promising than anything he's done in a long time. But I still, he is a good actor, and he can be funny too. Whenever, when he's not doing stupid fucking roles like Blended or Grown Ups or any of that shit. But yeah, I don't know. I just, again, I like the concept behind it, that we send a time capsule into space, and the things that we, the show in alien life forms, and the things that we send are Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, Centipede, and Space Invaders, I think. I'm just saying, like, that's definitely 80s for you. Anyways, also I got the trailer for Max. It's America, the movie. Now, it's a movie that, like, it's obviously, it's from the people that made Marley and Me. You can fucking tell. It's about a dog who was like on the front lines in Afghanistan and stuff like that, and that was protecting his owner and basically like that, and his owner dies. He gets sent back home, and there's a sad scene where he's just like hovering over the coffin of his of his owner, and it's like sad. And then they're trying to domesticate him, and apparently I don't know. There's weird shit going on. He's also got PTSD. The dog's got PTSD, which is that's interesting. That was like, well, that's interesting. It's like one of those it's gonna tug at your heartstrings kind of movie, whatever. Shaun the Sheep, the movie. Don't know what the fuck Shaun the Sheep is. I've heard of that before. Is that a British show or something? I don't know. And it's British humor. It's from the guys that made Wallace and Gromit and stuff like that, which is I liked Wallace and Gromit. And Chicken Run, which was good too. I haven't seen that in forever though. It's British humor. That's all I can say is it's British humor. It's like it seems like it's a lot of there's not much dialogue since it's sheep and they just that's it. It's kind of interesting. Like there's not much dialogue in that trailer, so maybe that's gonna be one of those kinds of movies. And then I got the new trailer for Minions. I'm looking forward to Minions a lot, like everybody. I'm still in the same boat though that I'm worried that this movie kind of will overexpose Minions to the point it will get annoying. That will start being annoying. I fucking the end of this trailer showed Minion ass, which is something I don't ever need to see. That's very weird. Why is there shots of Minion asses? I don't know why. I don't know why. Like he's gonna make love in a hot tub to a fire hydrant, which is yellow and looks like him. That scene is funny, but I still love. There's things about this movie that make me fucking laugh and chuckle. Like the trailer makes me laugh. Like when they're showing them throughout the years, like trying to serve masters, and they actually like kill them all. Like Napoleon, like they're watering down like a pathway for Napoleon, and he slips and falls, and the fucking sword just impales him. That was violent. Or my favorite one where Dracula, they're throwing a surprise party for Dracula. They open up the drapes, and the sunlight hits Dracula. He turns into dust, and they that's still fucking hysterical. That's my favorite joke in the whole fucking trailer. Still, 36 BG before Gru. That is great. That joke is still funny. Anyways, yeah, that's trailers for you. I'll be back next week with what's out next week. San Andreas. Oh yeah, new rock movie. Until then, I'll talk to you guys later.